my new channel tonight. It's entitled Let Us Reason. We will deal with issues of science, theology, philosophy, metaphysics, where everyone has an option to chime in on the issues, but they will have to be informed in those issues. It's one, and it's another to allow people who don't know what they're talking about to persist in conversation with someone who does know what they're talking about. I want to welcome y'all here. Jesse's here. You know, I find it another sleepless night here. Got the old hours flipped. But Smokey told me I'm not allowed to wake him up tonight. So anyway, we're just having a nice time tonight, announcing my new channel and new approach. I'm sitting here tonight just daydreaming in my race car bed, thinking what it would be like to go over to California and Grass Valley there and drive in the race car track around that area. I know we have one in Stockton, California. My grandma used to take me there years ago. And I've been there to Grass Valley. But I feel like, the character's an Easy Rider. Smokey and I on our motorcycles, just cruising the avenues. Model citizens. As David Lee Roth would say, Panama. Sorry, y'all, no matter what I do, going through all these withdrawals and going through the trauma at night, I just cannot get my hours flipped. Being over on the East Coast here has only got me shifted by 3 hours. And now I don't even know what time I go to bed. I probably still go to bed maybe 3-ish or 4 in the morning, West Coast time, but it's just weird. My body, my system's all goofed. Yep, just chilling here. It is chilly. I don't know how you people live out here on the East Coast. I don't know why these best hotels are always by the freeways. It's always windy. It's like the wind whips through, the cars whip by. You can barely hear things. But I don't know how in the world people stand it. But I had to walk downstairs so I didn't wake Smokey up. He gets grumpy. You don't poke that grizzly bear. That's for sure. So I'm going to be moving things over to my new channel, the channel that you folks are on now. This is going to be my satire, my comedy channel, since I deal with a lot of, clowns in this world. It's interesting how young earth creationism has been brought to the center of all of this nonsense that's going on. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'll look down at the old side chat here. If anybody wants to come in, I can post a link. Thank you, Takeaway, for praying for us. Certainly appreciate that. Just ghouls and demons following us around everywhere we go. The wicked of the wicked following us around. I have a theory about ghosts that they are just expressions of energy in the entire electromagnetic spectrum, that while our instruments like cameras, we can pick up the remnants of the wavelengths of the light where our natural eyes can't. So I think that's, as we do hone things, I think we'll show that ghosts and spirits are kind of a, quote unquote, paranatural, paranormal, in its truest sense. And I think that's where the spiritual world resides, and only God himself would be transcendent from such a realm. So I think that's the way that we should understand spiritual things. And I believe that when Adam fell and there was a severing in the spiritual realm, and Adam could no longer perceive the spiritual realm, but the spiritual realm could continue to perceive him, interact with him. And so I think our minds and even our eyeballs at one time had the ability to perceive the light realm. Scripture says God is like light. So we would expect that spirits ultimately will be like light in their ousia, in their essence or substance. Shout out to all the other insomniacs out in the YouTube's world, huh? All right, Gavin, I'll give you the link here, brother. It's too cold out here. I think I'm going to get in the car and drive around a little bit. This is freezing. And I believe it or not, when we were in West Virginia, and I was at my Uncle Pete's, and Mr. Smoke Man was at the hotel. These ding dongs got me kind of riled up, and I was so loud that the police literally stopped me and gave me the what for, interrogated me right there. And at first I said, "Hey, listen, I know I'm only 2% black. Why are you guys treating me like this?" And it was the California plates and probably the fact that I was driving a black car. So that's kind of what happened. But, I would drive my Uncle Pete's truck around, drive gray cars, blue cars, black cars, but I'm black. So that's all I do, red and black cars. All right, let's see here. Gavin, how you doing?
Shalom, shalom, Dr. Kenny.
Hey, what's up?
How was my audio?
Good, very good.
Okay, good. I'm using earphones. You're coming through loud and clear
Oh,
for
good.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
good.
really good. It was not good on Praise's stream tonight. It was um, it was terrible.
Yeah,
There was
I
no,
heard. I heard I was taken down and I should hide or something. I don't know what that means.
well,
I'm not. I don't even
you,
pay attention anymore.
you, Smokey, me, Jesse, um, who else was getting it? Jesse's probably got a better memory than me. But there's a spirit. There's a spirit on that stream. But I can tell you, I mean, I'm 62 years old, Dr. Kenny, so I think I'm a bit older than you. Not by much, though.
Yeah, yeah,
But
10,
there's a,
12 years. Yeah,
right, right. Well, there's a spirit on that stream, but it's not from God. It's not a spirit of God.
yeah. It's really sad. It's gone like crazy. Um,
Yeah.
crazy. It's the only word I can say. It's crazy.
It was a bit like mob mentality tonight. It was like the villagers had sort of been listening to rumors that there was a werewolf out there, so they all were gathering together with their torches and their pitchforks, and they were going to take
Yeah,
this werewolf down. And the lies, the misinformation, the half truths, the speculations. It was very bad. It was very, very bad. Not what you'd expect from somebody who was a follower of Christ and who had the Holy Spirit dwelling within them.
yeah. Oh, Will says that supposedly I was suspended from Reasons to Believe.
Oh yeah, yeah, they went into that big time.
Yeah, yeah. My. I can't comment on anything because there's some legal issues
Yes,
now at
yes,
play,
yes, yes,
so I cannot
yes,
say anything.
yes. I
So no
know,
comment. Yep.
I know, but I know that you're not. All right, so that's good enough for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. These guys are loonies. Absolute loonies.
That's being pretty charitable.
Yeah.
Charitable, Doctor
Right.
Kenny is being very charitable.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I asked Smokey what was on his clubhouse thing or something you asked him to read or look
Oh
at.
yeah, yeah. Jesse can explain it better actually if he pops in the room because the message was from Jesse,
Oh,
but it
okay.
was it was to do with this evidence that Sparrow and Olive have got about the hacking of Sparrow's phone and how the evidence points to
Oh,
you. Well, it
right.
doesn't. It
Right.
doesn't,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Jesse is very, very up to speed with all things to do with
Right.
computers. So he's done
Oh, good.
investigation of his own.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
there's some good evidence there for you to say, well, look, according to the evidence, I have nothing to do with this. You've been
Yeah.
scammed, but not by me.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that was that was the good news for you and Smokey.
Oh, good. Good. Yeah. Yeah. I have not worried about a thing because it's so crazy. It's like this stuff is just going to come out, and I don't have to defend myself. I don't have to say anything. I can have fun and poke back when I want to, but I, I I can't believe that there's people out there like this. I'm still
Same,
surprised daily.
same. Yeah, I am. I am. What's the
She
time
said,
for you, Dr. Kenny?
we're Eastern time. I don't have my glasses on. I can't really see the time on the phone.
After midnight?
I don't even know. I can't even see.
Oh, okay.
It feels like it, I tell you.
So hang
Certainly
on.
feels like it.
You're
I pick
driving
up.
at night. You're driving at night. No glasses.
Yeah, I'm just driving around the block. I'm just doing loops around the block.
Well, if you get
Nothing.
pulled over for speeding, you've got the perfect excuse. You can say, "Officer, I can't even see the dashboard. I haven't got my glasses."
I know it. I know it. I broke
Yeah.
my good glasses on the way out. Sat on them, and now I got a
Ah,
bunch of reading glasses. Hold on a minute,
yeah.
guys. Anyway,
I am encouraged. Dr. Kenny, that you're taking a firm stand against the YECers. I've just started reading John Sailhammer's book, Genesis
oh
Unbound,
yeah,
because I've never held to a YEC position, but I really needed to get hold of some scholarly literature that was well respected and well regarded. And seems like Sailhammer fits the bill
yeah,
as far
yeah.
as that's concerned.
I don't hold to all of his views, but yeah, he is a great expositor of Genesis 1. I really like the way he sets forth the
Yep,
understanding, that it's about the promised land and stuff like that.
yep, yep, yep. Awesome. And I want to get debates with young Earth creationists, Dr. Kenny, but they're really hard to find. They're
Yeah,
really hard to find.
I'm going to be starting a whole new channel, whole new ministry, because I think people might be a little confused on the difference between polemics and apologetics and dealing with heretics like the early church
Right.
apologists dealt with, and the notion of this ever passive gentleness
Yeah.
is really a misnomer. And so I intend to start an organization that truly fights, because we're in a different battle today
Yeah.
than we were 30 years ago, even 20 years ago. And
Uh-huh.
I've never been more affirmed as a pastor than taking the stances that I've taken now. And it's
Great.
encouraged me in the Lord to say, you know what? I need to continue on this road, because my testimony is that 6 months ago I couldn't stand up against a mouse, but now I can
Right.
stand up against the world because God healed me. He healed my heart, and he's put a fire in my bones. And many, many years ago, the people around me thought that, I would fulfill a quote unquote prophetic kind of ministry where, you spoke forth God's truth and just let people deal with it the way they deal with it. But, be faithful to speaking God's truth, no matter, as they say, how the cookie crumbles afterward. And that's where I'm at.
Right. I understand. Well, thanks God. Thanks God that he has moved in your life and he has delivered you from those infirmities.
Yeah. Yeah. And
He's a
I'm,
good God.
yeah. Yeah. And I'm very excited. We've prayed a lot over here on the East Coast, and I'm just expecting the Lord to, just to do miracles and to hear what he has done in people's lives. We've stopped and ate and talked to waitresses and prayed with them, and it's been amazing. Don't
Nice.
say anything. Don't say anything. But Smokey's actually kind of a pastor. He can pick up on people. Yeah, he can pick up on them and really like see their heart and discern it, and then be able to pray for them. And
Right,
they're
right.
shocked. They're shocked. That he, or
Yeah.
at least I'm shocked that he hits it on the head.
Yeah.
So it's been an amazing trip of ministry, and I would put just the fruit of a road trip up against any of those ding dongs that claim they're Christians.
Right. You got to see your uncle okay?
Oh yeah, it was great to see him.
I bet he was very pleased to see you.
Yeah, he told me something that really just kind of broke me. He said, you've always been my boy. He says, I love your brothers, Tim and Jeremy, but you've always been my boy. And
Wow.
it's really flattering, because out of all the grandchildren, I'm the oldest of the youngest brother, and God had some grace on me and my brothers to, kind of not be so cursed from the get-go, even though it's been a rough going. But, I've
Sure.
got cousins right now that are dead, dying.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 50 years old, and I look 20 next to all of my cousins.
Right.
And
Wow.
I don't know why I deserve it. Yeah.
How
Well, I found
how
my
old is?
glasses.
Oh, very good.
Dang, it's 3 in the stinking morning over here. Dang, that's
3 in the
nuts.
morning. So well, you can see what speed you're doing now, so there's no excuse.
Right. Well, I'm just crawling along because I'm prone to get lost, so I just do circles.
Right.
Yeah.
How old is your uncle roughly, Dr. Kenny?
He's going to be 90.
Right.
Yeah.
So saying goodbye would have been kind of sweet but sad, right? Sweet but sad, because your uncle probably knows.
Crying.
Yeah.
He was crying. I was crying. And I promised him that me and Tammy would be back in a year or so. And
right.
And so I'm sticking to that. Since
well, that's a lovely thing to say, because that just knowing that will give him hope, and hope is a very, very strong drug, very powerful drug.
Yeah. Well, he's still preaching on Sunday mornings at his church, so
oh
he's
wow,
the pastor. Yeah, he's the pastor.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, he's training amazing. Up some young hillbilly, my age, and he preached the sermon that was so profoundly impactful on me, the context we're in, and this, and all of that's going on with this lunacy. And they prayed for me, and it was just, an amazing thing. But I could go on and on.
That's great. My dad, Dr. Kenny, is 85. He's 85, and he's still got a full head. He's still got a full head of hair. Nothing will kill him, eh? Nothing will kill him. I keep telling him, to spend as much money as he can, because he can't take it with him. And he's trying to. He's trying to, but I tell him to go on these. I tell him to go on these skiing holidays, and it's nothing to do with snow. Skiing stands for spending kids' inheritance, because I've only got a brother. Right, I've only got a brother, so when my dad passes, then everything will go to me and my brother. So I said, look, spend it now, Dad, spend it now, because, once you pass, it's not going to be any good to you.
Right, for sure. You know what's interesting is my cousin over here in West Virginia, she's 2 years younger than my mom.
Right.
So my cousin is only 13 years older than me, and is only 6, 7 years younger than my dad, something like that.
Oh
So it's
wow.
funny. It's like I have a cousin that's almost 70. A first cousin,
Yeah, I know.
that is. Yeah, a first
Yeah. I
cousin.
got you. I got you.
But my mom is only
Ah,
67 right now, so my cousin
wow,
technically is only 65. But
wow, wow. So your mum had you when she was 17. That's pretty young.
I was born on her birthday. Yep,
Oh
on her
wow.
17th birthday. Yeah,
What a lovely birthday surprise.
yeah. She says I was the best present ever.
There you go. There you go. Oh,
But
that's awesome, eh?
at the time, the only person that was excited was Aunt Ruth.
Really? Really?
Yeah, well, because teenagers, they're still in
Oh,
high
okay.
school. Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay. Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I heard, my uncle Bubby said, Kenny, because they called my dad Kenny. Kenny, I
Yeah.
warned you about that. And he says you are going to finish high school.
Yeah,
Oh, it's so funny.
yeah. I was actually speaking about childbirth. This is a bit of a sidebar, but I was just reading the other day of fathers in their first time experience of childbirth, and one
Mhm.
dad wrote that he video recorded the whole childbirth procedure
Yeah.
for the firstborn, and he never videotaped another birth. He never
Yeah.
videotaped another birth. And one mother wrote it, and she said, after our first child was born, I looked at my husband, and his face was green, and he said, "I don't know how you survived that," he said to his
Yeah.
wife.
Yeah. Yeah. I almost passed out. Yeah.
Right, right.
Almost passed out.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Hey, our God's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it really is amazingly disgusting and amazing.
Yeah, well, it's amazingly beautiful as well.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, it really is.
just
I
fantastic.
I got queasies in my stomach after the sonogram because
Yeah,
it so grossed me out thinking that like something was living inside my wife's stomach, and it
right.
just made me sick because I had
Yeah,
this always had this weird phobia, or not phobia, but like I remember seeing these toads when I was very, very young, like maybe even 12 months old, like watching the TV where they would lay their eggs and then they go up on their backs and stick to the back and the skin would grow over it. Well, that
uh,
always like eked me out. And so I always have this, I gotta pop what's in there, So anyway, I
right.
forget why I even went on this rant, but I'm just weird.
Talking about childbirth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So yeah, with childbirth, something living inside you, the same way those tadpoles were living underneath the mom's skin.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
uh,
You were saying that you felt queasy
yeah.
with
Oh, yeah.
with your
That
wife's
makes me.
first pregnancy.
Yeah, yeah. Because it's like a tadpole living inside my wife's belly. It's disgusting. Ugh. But there
Well,
is
it
a
gets
condition.
worse.
There is a condition, as my daughter was telling me about it, because she has the same thing. It's like you can't look at pictures of things like with uh you know just like freighters where like you want to pop it. It seems like something should be I can't even talk about it anymore. It's giving me like anxiety real bad. I gotta stop.
Oh
I,
yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. That's
I
fine.
am
But
I am very crazy. You guys can ask Will Kincaid. I am different,
no,
and everybody
no,
knows how weird Kincaid is, and Kincaid calls me weird. Think about that.
yeah, yeah. Well, I've boxed for 30 years, Dr. Kenny. So I've
Oh,
got a
that's
few.
cool.
Well,
Oh, very cool.
it's kind of cool, but it's left its scars. So sometimes I have these really lucid moments of absolute dazzling inspiration and perception, but they're few and
Yeah,
far between. They're few and far between.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
understand how that is. Yeah, because I
But I
lived
was
for a
gonna.
while with brain issues,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's all gone now. But yeah, I used to tell
Wow.
people one day I can be a genius, and the next day, a retard. And I was
Right.
being honest because there are
Yeah.
days that stress. I couldn't think. I couldn't
Yeah.
hardly do
Yep.
anything. But nowadays, everything works perfect. Just
Wow, that's
amazing.
amazing. That's amazing because I've been there where you were when you became sick, and this was well over probably 12 years ago.
Yeah,
And it
I,
took a
I
it
was in
took a
that state. I was in that state for 20 years.
wow, wow. Yeah, it took a long time for the medical people to figure out what was wrong. But now I'm fine. I have to take medication, but I'm as fine as the next person. And even my GP said to me, "Look, some people just have these problems and they have to stay on medication for life." He said, "Look at
Yeah,
type 1 diabetics. They have to inject themselves every day and they just
yeah,
manage it and get on well with their lives." And that's what I do. It's
right.
totally fine. But I was going to
Right.
ask you before I forget. I've been dying to ask this for ages. How many years can you calculate how many years you've actually been pastoring from when you first started pastoring? I presume you're still pastoring now. So, how many years do you think have gone by?
Well, I'm more of like a bishop right now. I don't have a congregation myself, but it's been over 30 years.
Right. Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I wanted to tell you about when my son was born, because you were talking
Go
about
for
it.
it. Go for it. Well, I want to hear every detail.
Well, there's not much to tell, and I'll explain why. So my wife was, I guess, crowning. I don't know. I wasn't at the
Will.
business end of that situation. But you know who it
Wave at
was?
me,
My
Will. I think I
fucking
just drove past your
mother-in-law.
house.
My mother-in-law was filming it like fucking Federico Fellini, lots of wide angle shots and fucking lenses. She's like, "Come here, Willie, you gotta see this." And I said to her in front of the fucking doctors and the nurses and everything, I said, "I've been to that particular restaurant. I don't need to see where the veal comes from to know the
Yeah,
food's."
yeah.
I not, no, thank you. I will pass. I
Was it
appreciate
was
the
it
effort.
was it your wife's mother?
Yes,
Well,
yes, it was my wife's mother. It's my
all right,
mother-in-law.
okay.
And
Well,
she's
she was probably being inspired by Quentin Tarantino movies.
Well, they didn't tell us, but all of a sudden, the room was just filled with staff, just doctors and nurses. They didn't tell us what the hell was going on, and thank God for that, because I'm pretty sure my
Yeah,
wife would have had a fucking panic attack. Now, I work in an
yeah.
environment where people almost die pretty much on a regular basis.
Yes, I
My
realize that.
son decided that he was going to go out the same way that I came into this fucking world, which is the wrong way,
Right.
with the cord wrapped around his fucking neck, and he came out purple. He came
Yeah.
out
Oh my
fucking.
God.
He came out fucking
Yeah,
sideways with the
yeah,
fucking cord wrapped around his neck, and that
yeah,
was the most mortifying. I saw him for a second. I'm like, Jesus Christ! But I was like, I gotta make sure my wife does not pay attention to this,
yeah,
because if she
yeah.
sees what's going on, all hell is going to break loose in this
How long
fucking
did it?
birthing room.
Yeah. How long did it take for his normal color to come back?
Oh, not too long. They put him in one of them fucking snake incubator things they got there at the hospital, and he got
Oh
color.
yeah. Okay.
He
Awesome.
didn't grow in. Yeah, the thing is that I was looking at, as I often do actually, which is weird because I'm not big into looking at photos, but I was looking at some photos of him, and like, he was not the cutest looking baby for the first couple weeks. He did not grow into his Kincaid face, as I
Right.
put it, for
Right.
probably another month or two. He kind of just looked like a shriveled old man.
Yeah.
And but
As most of them do.
he's a very odd child in the best way. He's very
Yeah.
peculiar.
Of course.
He's never. First of all, he's always been kind of like almost like he's an infant. So I mean, but when he was a newborn, he wanted to hold the bottle himself. So one
Right.
day I was alone with him, and I was like, "Well, I'll supervise this endeavor, and we'll see what happens." He just held the bottle with his hand, and he just kind of fed himself. And I was thinking to myself, "Well, if he wants to fucking do it, fuck it,
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
he's never
yeah,
shown any interest in crawling. He always wants to stand. And
yeah.
for the longest, it was about 2 months in that I discovered that he could, if I put my fingers out, he could pull himself up and stand. He was never great with
Wow.
balance, but yeah, he was standing when he was
Wow.
a newborn, which I thought was weird. I have photos of that somewhere that I'll probably share with Kenny at some point.
Wow, that's cool, man. That's very cool.
He shows he still to this day shows absolutely no interest in crawling whatsoever.
Right.
He wants to go. He likes to jump.
Yeah.
He's got a little jumper
Yeah.
thing, and he likes to stand, and he tries to walk, not very well. He's got a little walker thing he motors around the house occasionally.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. My kids had those as well. Hey, remember when he gets to like toddler age when he can walk fairly competently.
I know.
Um,
My cabinets do not have knobs, so I've got to buy this fucking contraption.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Well,
drill holes in the cabinets just to put
yeah,
knobs to put locks on, but
yeah. When he is walking competently and full of confidence and feeling like he's 6 foot tall and bulletproof, he will prove that quantum mechanics is real because he's like he's always in a superposition. If you blink your eyes, he'll be gone. He'll be out that door trying to cross the road. I guarantee it.
I know.
Exactly.
He is
My son scared me to death doing crap like that, so I put safety locks or chains, way up higher that he couldn't get them.
Yeah.
I remember when he was 6 months old, I went to the store and I was looking. I just was in a mood. I wanted to buy him. Oh, where did Gavin go? Oh, he must have dipped. I remember when he was 6 months old, I went to the store and I was in the mood, so I just wanted to buy him a toy because he's cute and I love him. So his parents should. So I went and bought him some crayons and some paper. And my wife was insistent the first thing he would try to do was eat the fucking crayon, and I said, "No, I don't think so." And it's not exactly drawing, but he didn't eat the crayon first. If I have his first scribblings, so maybe he's a creative type. I have no idea. Once I showed him what you're supposed